Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a very special Shvuas. Leili Nishmas, Harav David Tzvi ben Rav Yosef, from the Shvuas Rav Dor David ben Sarah, and the Shvuas Rav David Avram ben Maris Hena Miriam, and Harav Tzuriel ben Shoshana, L'bracha v'atzlacha, B'chol Ma'aseh Yedayim, and also Leili Nishmas Maris Esther bas Shmuel. The Mishnah says at the beginning of the second paragraph of Ksubas, and of Vav Amud Beis, Ha'ishin is Armala, a woman who became an almana, Oshin is Garisher, she was divorced. He omeres besula nisasani. She says that you married me as a besula, and therefore my ksuba is 200 zuz. And he says, no, almana nisasich. I married you as an almana, and your ksuba is only a mana. So the din is im yesh edim sheyatzas. If there are witnesses that she came out when she got married from the house of her father to the house of her husband, as a besula does. Behinuma. What is a hinuma that the Gemara later says? That's the veil that the girls wear even today. So if she's going out with that veil on her hair, so Verosha Perua, and then her hair is exposed and it goes down to her shoulders. So she's a Rosh Perua. She has her hair going down and she has her hinuma on her head. Because that was the minhag. The Besulas would go from their father's house to the Chasana. So Ksubasa Masayim, her Ksub is 200 zuz, because the Hinuma is an Edus that she was a Besula when she got married. Ad kan mi divrei HaMishnah. It's mashma mi divrei HaMishnah. That the Mishnah is talking about all cases. Even when the Eidim don't contradict the husband, meaning that the Eidim say she went out with a Hinuma, and the husband agrees that she went out with a Hinuma, and the husband said, despite the fact that she went out with this head covering, nevertheless, she was a Be'ula. So there's no vikuach, there's no argument between the husband and the Eidim. Nevertheless, even in that case, whether there is an argument or not an argument, but even if there is an argument, if they're agreeing, and she just says, I agree with the Eidim that she went out with the Hinuma. I'm not being contradicted by the Eidim. I just hold that she was an Alman at the time. So Kamash on the Mishnah that the Hinuma is a Raya, that she was a Besula. Despite the husband's claim otherwise. Frek the Heilige Hafla. So why then do you need Eidim that she went out with the Hinuma? Why isn't it enough to have Eid Echad? Bishleim, if the husband was arguing with his Taina against the Eid, then we would dafka need Eidim. Because if there is an argument between him and the Eidim, only then the Eidim beat him. Because if there's only one Eid, what's the din of one Eid? You take a Shvua and you're Pater. If there was just one Eid, he would take a Shvua that she's a Bula, she would become Pater. So, because there are two Eidim, they beat him. That's if there's a contradiction between him and the Eidim. But, Kishumoi Delidvarav. But let's say he agrees with the Eid. There's only one Eid. And he agrees with the Eid. That's what we're talking about here. Here he agrees with the Eidim. So if he would contradict them, then you need two to beat him. But since he's not contradicting them, he's agreeing with them that Behinuma Yatzas, he's just saying she's an Almana. So what status does he have now? Here's the status of mitoch she'ena yochel ishava mishalei. So why do you need two Eidim? One Eid should be enough. Why is it mitoch she'ena yochel ishava mishalei? What type of oath can he take over here? We all know the famous case in Bava Basra of Nascha the Rebbe Abba, that the Eid is made that he snatched from his friend. In other words, an Eid comes along and he says that Reuven snatched this gold piece from Shimon. And Shimon and Reuven says, in Chatfi v'didi chatfi. I snatched it all right, but I snatched my own. And Rabbi Abba says that mitoich she'enu yochel lishava mishalem, since he can't swear, he has to pay. Why can't he swear? Because he agrees with the aid. So he can't swear because what's swearing? When an aid comes and says something, the Shvuas is to contradict the aid. Here he can't contradict the aid. He agrees with the aid. So the aid says you snatched. And he says, I agree with you that I snatched, but I snatched my own. He's not contradicting the aid. So he's got no Shvuah. No Shvuah. Here it's a Zelbazach. Here, the Eidim say she went out with the Hinuma. And he says, I know she went out with the Hinuma, but she was a Besula. She was a Beula at the time. Now he can't take an oath because he's agreeing with the Eidim. Mishalem. So why do you need two? One is enough. If he was contradicting them, then you would need two to beat him. But here there's no contradiction, he's agreeing. So one aid should be enough. The aid said she went out with the Hinuma. He said she went out with the Hinuma. So they're agreeing. What type of oath is he going to take? The oath is to contradict the witness. Here there's no contradiction, so why do you need two? One is enough. So they frek the Baal flaw. Toys later on, Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph asks, how do we know that somebody who denies everything is potter? And you can't say that from the fact that you need a pasuk to be mechayev shvua be'ed echad, that implies that kofar hakol is potter from a shvua. Because when do you need a shvua? Only if there's an eid echad. So it's mashma that kofar hakol without an eid is potter. And Tosas says, why not to say that? So look there in Tosas. But in Shuvas Rabbi Kiva Eger, the Shaul asks in Tinyan and Simon Kuf Chav Gimel, L'chor, what's the right? Because you can say that be'emes kofar hakol is chayv shvua. So then, why do you need a pasuk to tell you that eid echad is mechayv shvua? If kofar hakol is chayv shvua, it's pashut eid echad. So no, there's an afkamina that eid echad is mechayv shvua. Even though kofar hakol is mechayv shvua, you still need the eid echad. And what's the nafkamina? The nafkamina is in the chiyuv of shvua eid echad, then you naschad the Rebbe Abba. If the whole chiyuv shvua was mitzad din of kofar hakol, he could swear. In chatfi v'didi chatfi. I snatched it, but it's mine. So he's Mekayim his taina of his kfira by his shvua. So why do you need the pasuk of Eid Echad? Because Eid Echad teaches you that since there's a chi of shvua of Eid Echad, now he's Eni Yochel Yishava. Because his din is that he has to contradict the witness. And if he doesn't contradict the witness, this witness has the status of two, and the guy has to pay. So how can you think of a raya? How can you suggest that from the fact that you need a chiyuv of shvua be'ed echad, it must be kofar hakol's pater? No, kofar hakol's chayiv. But the chiyuv of shvua be'ed echad teaches you that if eid echad makes a certain taina, and this person doesn't contradict the eid echad, he agrees with the eid echad. Like the Minaschel the Rebbe Abba, he's Ani Yochel Yishava, he's Mishalem. That's why you need the Eid Echad. To tell you this Chiddush Mitoch Sheni Yochel Yishava Mishalem. There's no raya that the Chiyuv Shvua Be'ed Echad proves that Kofar Hakol is Pater. No. Kofar Hakol maybe is Chayv Shvua. And you need a pasuk to be Mechayv Shvua Be'ed Echad to teach you this Chiddush. That Eid Echad, you have to contradict the Eid Echad. And if you can't, you're Ani Yochel Yishava, you're Mishalem. So Moreno Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbeinu Chaim Shmulevitz Zecher Tzadik V'Kodesh L'Vracha, in his Shari Chaim and Siman Mem Test, it says as follows: that in the case of Rabbi Abba, since he's modeh, that he snatched this gold piece, he can't swear. Says the Rashbam, the reason is the holesle lemeimar lishtova dididei chotav shein zu shvua mutel asolav. He can't swear that he snatched his own, because that's not the shvua that's incumbent upon him. What does the Rashbam mean? The Rashbam means is that the shvua that a person is chayiv in the parish of Echad is to be makrish the eid. And this shvua that he snatched his own gold coin is a shvua klape the mammon, to say that the money is mine. But he's not makrish the Echad. The Echad says you snatched. And he says, yes, I did. So they're agreeing. He's just saying, I snatched my own. But it has to be Zokter Ashbam Shvua Mutela Salav. It has to be a Shvua that's incumbent upon him. And what's the Shvua that's incumbent upon him? To be Makrish Divrei Ha'ed. If he's not Makrish Divrei Ha'ed, it's a guide nisht. It's not the Shvua Mutela Salav. So that's Pshat and Aschel de Rebbe Abba. It has to be Shvua Mutela Salav, and Shvua Mutela Salav is Hakchoshas Ha'ed. So we see from this Rashbam that the whole Chisaron in this Shvua of V'didi Chatfi, that it's mine, is that it's not Mutal Olav. It's not the Shvua that's incumbent upon him. And because of that, there's no Torah Shvuas HaDayanim. It's as if he just jumped and he swore. But there's no Torah Shvuas HaDayanim here. And therefore he has to pay. Because when are you allowed to swear when you have a din of Shvuas HaDayanim? There's no Shvuas HaDayanim because he's not contradicting the aid. According to this, it would appear that Lu Yitzuyer, that he should have a Chiyuv Shvua, Klape the Mammon, to be Mevarer, whether it's his or not. So this Shvua will also be effective Klape the aid, towards the aid. That since this Shvua is Mutelas Alav, since this Shvua is incumbent upon him, now it has Torah Shvua Sadayanim. It has the status of being a Shvua Sadayanim, and it's Makrish the aid. So even though it's not Mukhash, Be'etzem may do so, but it's enough if he's contradicting the Psak Din that comes out from the Eidus of the aid. And therefore, it's enough if he takes a shvua that the mammon is his, and that's makrish the aid. In other words, what we have to do is we have to find some sort of tziyur that he has a shvua mutelas olav, and then he can contradict the psak din that comes out of the eidus of the eid echad. The eidus of the eid echad, he agrees with the actual facts on the ground. In chatfi v'didi chatfi. I did snatch. I'm not arguing with you. I just snatched my own. The Eid Echad says you snatched, so he's not arguing with the Eid Echad. But if it would be a Shvuah Mutelas Olav, then you can't say any Ochel Yishava. If it would be a Shvuah Mutelas Olav, then he would swear, and that would contradict the Psaktim that came out of the Eid. The Eid Zaydus. And a raya for this chiddush is from the Shita Mukubes, is the name of the Rashbitz, the beginning of Bab Mitzia. That according to those Rishonim who hold that Eid HaMeseiah Poter Mishvuas HaTorah, so the same applies to Naschel the Rebbe Abi, but Echad. And the Eid Echad says, yeah, you snatched your own. He's saying, yeah, it was your own. That paters him. Now what's the tour of Eid HaMeseiah? Why is Eid HaMeseiah patering somebody from Shua? Because if he swore that the siyu of the aid is b'makom shvua. There are those who hold that afilu b'shvuas hanotlin, even a shvua that you make in order to take, even their aid of Messiah is effective. Ayin Siman Pei Zayin, Sivav, and the Ramah. What's the reason? The reason is because it's B'makom Shvuah. This Eida Mesayeh is like you swore. But now it's a question. Because if so, how is the Eid greater than the Shvuah? If the Shvuah that Didei Chotaf, that he snatched his own, isn't good, then how does the Eid help? Rabbi Kivega already asked this. If the Shvuah doesn't help, then how does the Eid, HaMisayeh, who's in place of a Shvuah, help? Big kasha. So, Al Korchach, what do we have to say? Like we said, that the Shvuah doesn't help is because it's not a Shvuah Mutelas Alav. It doesn't have Torah Shvuah Sadayanim. It's like he jumped and swore. But Lu Yitzuyer, if we would have a case that it should have Torah Shvuah Sadayanim, would be effective even Neged Eid. And therefore the Rashbitz is correct that the Siyuh of the Eid, that the Dei Chotaf, is instead of a good Shvuah, instead of a Shvuah that's effective. In other words, this Eid Echad who's coming instead of the Shvuah, what type of Shvuah is he coming instead of? Instead of a Shvuah that's Mutelas Alav. And Memela, the Eid Echad is good for him. The Eid Echad is effective to give him what he claims is his. It's b'makom Shvuah Ma'al Yisa. And the whole Chisaron of Didi Chotaf that I took my own is because that's not a Shvuah Mutelas Alav. The moment you can find a tzir of Shvuah Mutelas Alav, then it is effective. Then that Shvuah, you believe him. You can swear. And that Eid Echad who's coming to say that, yeah, Ditcha Chotaf, you really took yours, he's been Kom Shvuah Ma'al Yisa. According to this, we can understand, solve the problem we raised before. We had the kasha we brought from the Shvuas Rabbi Kiva Eger. That really not like Tosis. Koifer HaKol should be chayiv, Shvuah. And nevertheless, we need a pasuk for Shvuah Seid Echad to be mechadish the din of Naschad the Rebbe Abba. That if he wasn't machish the Eid, and the Eid has the status of 2, and he has to pay up. Mitoch sheni yochel yishav mishalim. Because his job is to contradict the Eid. If he can't contradict the Eid, he has to pay. That's the chiddush of Naschad Rabbi Abba. Shvuah Seid Echad. Toch she'ani yochel l'shav mishalim. But now it's not shver anymore, because based on what we explain, it emerges that if we learn that Kofer HaKol is chayav a shvuah, then this din isn't shaykh at all. Because mitzad the parasha of Kofer HaKol, he has to swear that the mammon is his. And since there's Torah Shvuah Sadayanim on this Shvuah, then it would also work against the Eid, like we explained. The whole din of Shvuah Seid Echad is, as they say in Lakewood, geboit. It's built on the fact that Koifer HaKol is Pater Mishvuah. Because if Koifer HaKol was Chayav Shvuah, then there would be no Chiddush in the din of Naschad the Rebbe Abba that when you agree with the Eid, it's Mitoch Sheni Yochel L'Shav Mishalim. That wouldn't be correct. If Koifer HaKol is Chayav Shvuah, then that means that if the Eid contradicts you, and you're Chayav Shvuah, so if the Eid doesn't contradict you and you're Chayav Shvuah, then you take the Shvuah and then you beat the Eid. In other words, if you say that what I stole was, I snatched it and I snatched my own. And the aid says, you snatched it. So you're agreeing with the aid. So if the din was that kol for akol was chayiv shvua, you'd be believed against that aid. Why? You're not contradicting the aid. The answer is, you don't have to contradict the aid. You just have to have a shvua mutel salav. And here is a shvua mutel. If you say that kol for akol is chayiv shvua, here's a shvua mutel salav. Now we can beat that aid. The whole din of, if you agree with the aid echad, you have to pay mitoch sheni ochol l'shavim mishalem. That's only built on the fact that kofer hakol is pater mishvua. Because if kofer hakol was chayav shvua, then that din wouldn't exist. Because now you have a shvua mechuyeves. Once you have a shvua mechuyeves that you have to swear, because kofer hakol is chayav shvua, then if you agree with the aid, you still beat the aid. We wouldn't have that second din of Nascha the Rebbe Abba of Mitoch Sheni Ochol L'Shavim Mishalim. It's only because Kofer HaKol is Pater, and it's not a Shvuah Mutelas Olav to say that it's yours, and therefore all you're left with now is that you're agreeing with the aid. The aid says you snatched, and you also say you snatched. Now there's no Shvuah Mutelas Olav. So therefore Mitoch Sheni Ochol L'Shavim Mishalim. But you can't say, like the Shol and the Shuvas of Rabbi Kiva Eger, that Be'emes Kofer HaKol is Chayiv V'Shvua, and the din of Eid Echad is say the Chiddush of Nasl Rabbi Abba that there's this din of Mitoch Shein Ochol L'Shavim Mishalim. No. Because if Kofer HaKol was Chayiv V'Shvua, there would be no din of Mitoch Shein Ochol L'Shavim Mishalim. Because it would be a Yachol Yishava. He could swear. Why could he swear? Because the Shvua Mutel Zilab. He's Kofer HaKol is Chayiv V'Shvua. Now the Eid comes along and says, you snatch. He says, I agree I snatched, but I snatched my own. He's believed against the Eid. Because it's a Shvua Mutel Zilab. Elama, since Kofer Bakol is Pater Mishvua, and Eid Echad is Mechayiv Shvua, but what type of Shvua is Mechayiv? That he has to now contradict the Eid. The Shvua Mutel himself is to contradict the Eid. And he can't contradict the Eid, because he agrees with the Eid. He just says, they did Chataf, but I did snatch, but I snatched my own. Mitoch Shein Ochol L'Shavim Mishalim. Moiridik. And for ends with the Kasha the Hafla. The Kasha the Hafla in the Mishnah. Why isn't it enough that we have one aid that she went out with the Behinuma? He's not contradicting the aid. The aid says she went out with the Hinuma, and he says, I hereby declare that she went out with the Hinuma, but she was a Ba'ula. She was a Ba'ula. So he's not contradicting the aid. He's agreeing with the aid. She went out with the Hinuma. She was just a Ba'ula. So Bazai, it should be enough one aid. Because if you're agreeing with the aid, now he's Henry Yochel Yishava. He can't swear because he's agreeing with the aid. So we ask, Frekta Flo, why do we need two aids? And one aid is enough. One is enough. Because Mitoch Sheni Yochel Yishava Mishalim, he's agreeing with the aid. So why does the Mishnah say you need two? So the answer is, hold on tight, that the sheet of the Rambam in the 16th paragraph of Hilchos Halach Chof Hei is that in the Mishnah there's a din of Shvuas Moed B'Miktsas. Why? Because she wants 200 and he's saying 100. So we have a din Shvua. And since there's a din Shvua here, Shvua D'Oraisa of Moed B'Miktsas, so because of the parish of Moed B'Miktsas, there's a din Shvua on his Shvua. That he's swearing about the money. And therefore he's going to beat the aid. So even if he agrees with the aid, he still can take a shvuah and beat the aid. Why? Because he has a Torah shvuah. How does he have Torah shvuah? Because the shvuah is more than mitzvahs. Once you have a Torah shvuah, now even though he agrees with the aid, he also says she went out with the hinuma. But since he has a Torah shvuah, he's believed to say, yes, she went out with the hinuma, but she was a ba'ula. He'd be believed. So therefore, 1 aid is not enough. In order for you to say that he has to pay the 200, that he has to pay the 200, you need 2 aidim that she went out with a hinuma. Once you have 2 aidim, she went out with a hinuma, so that doesn't help anymore. He can't. There's nothing he can do. No shvuah helps, and he has to pay. But if there'd be 1 aid that she went out with a hinuma, then he'd be able to swear, and he'd be able to contradict this 1 aid, because even though he agrees that she went out with a hinuma, and you would think it's a mitoch sheni ochel l'shavim mishalim case, but it's not. Because there is Torah Shvuah and it's Shvuah. How's there Torah Shvuah and it's Shvuah? Because he's already Chayiv Shvuah Dimrod and Miktas. Once you're already Chayiv Shvuah, even if you agree with the Eid Echad, it doesn't matter. Because you could still agree with the Eid Echad and be believed on the different point. In Chataf Edidi Chataf, or she went out with a Hinuma, but she was a Be'ula. As long as you have a Torah Shvuah, the problem with the In Chataf Edidi Chataf is no Torah Shvuah. Therefore, he's not contradicting the Eid, he's not going against the Eid, he's not believed. But the moment you have a Torah Shvuah, because here in the case in the Gemish's case, you have Moedim and Mikzas, she says 200, he says 100, you have Torah Shvuah. If there was only one Eid, then he would take a swear against that Eid. It would have Torah Shvuah because it's Din Doraisa, and therefore he's believed to say, yes, I agree with you, she went over the Yinua, but she was a Be'ula. So, Adkan midivrei Agon Reb Chaim. There's l'ch'oira stira mefurashes to this in the Rivash. In Shin Sadi Beis brought in the Ktsos, and Simon Nun Ches Sif Kot and Daled. But if HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps us, we can talk about it next time. But don't worry about it. There's going to be a happy ending. Everything's going to be Yushav. Just in the meantime, give ourselves a bracha. We should talk about Zercha Lilmod Ulamed Lishmor Velas L'Kaim is called Divrei Salmo Torah to be a Hava. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.